Hey Risa, today I'm here to give you a breast pump comparison of the Motif Duo, the Medela Freestyle Flex, and also the Ameda Mya. In some way, shape, or form, these comparisons have been requested as a pair, all of them compared to each other. So I just figured if we do them all in this comparison, we've got all the combinations out of the way. So I am going to go through my review points. And before I do that, I just want to say that I will be referring to them as Duo, Flex, and Mya. That way it's a little less for me to say every single time. I have also done full reviews of every single one of these pumps. I also have how-to videos on how to use them as well. So if you would like the reviews, I will link them, and the how-to videos are also great to see what they sound like as well, obviously along with learning how to use them. But let's go ahead and get started. So first off is price. The Duo is $160, the Flex is $325, and the Mya is $160. I will say that I know with the Medela Freestyle Flex, it is offered on places that you can use coupons at to get it at a lower price, but it is definitely not going to reach the $160 threshold. Number two is function and ease of use. I will say with the Duo, it is a little bit more complicated than the other two. It does have different modes and frequencies. It also does have a memory setting as well. So for that reason, because it offers more, there is a bit more of a learning curve. With the Mya, it is pretty simple and straightforward, very user-friendly, nothing hard to learn about it. And also with the Flex, it is pretty straightforward as well, really easy to understand. So as far as reviews go, they all have 4.5 stars across the board from what I can see on multiple different websites. Next up is portability and power options, and the whole reason why I'm grouping these pumps together is because they're all rechargeable breast pumps. So they all have the ability to be used while they're plugged in. However, most of the manufacturers recommend that that not be a usual thing. But you know, if you forget to charge it and you need to use it while it's being plugged in and charged, it's okay to do that occasionally. They all come with their own charging cables, and they all take pretty fast charges. Using all of these, I didn't really see a difference. It's not like one's very slow or one's super fast. They all charge up, and they all do hold about a 2-hour charge. For me, that's about 3 to 4 pump sessions, give or take, just depending on how my day goes, you know, but 2 hours is around the charge that each one of these holds. As for accessibility to replacement or spare parts, your best bet for all of these is Amazon. Number 6 is customer service. I've had great experience with all of their customer service. No problem there. Number 7 is durability. Now with the Motif Duo, I use this regularly on my second pumping journey with my daughter Remy, which has so far been the longest I've exclusively pumped. I pumped for her for around like a year and 9 months, I believe, and I used this on and off whenever I needed a travel pump. It had no trouble keeping up with me, and it did not have a lifespan as far as I could tell from the manual. Now with the Medela Freestyle Flex, when I used it, I had no problem with it keeping up with me. However, it does have a lifespan of 250 hours, which is roughly about 40 minutes a day. And then there is the Ameda Mya, and this had, again, no problem keeping up with me. I did not find a lifespan whatsoever mentioned, so durability on that seems good to me. Number 8 is noise level, and I will say that all these pumps are pretty quiet when they're latched onto you. I would say that the Motif is the quietest, with the Mya coming in at a very close second. The Duo is just a smidge quieter than it is, but honestly, they're very similar. And it's not that the Flex is super loud, it's just louder than both of those. I can definitely hear this, and it drowns those two out. And when it's not attached to anything, it's also louder. So if you don't have your flange attached to your breast, it is kind of loud, the noise that it makes with the connector and everything else. But yeah, the Duo is the quietest, then the Mya very close second, and then the Flex in third. So last two things as far as closed and open system goes, all of these are closed system pumps. Also, lastly, for number 10 is two-phase expression or just stimulation and expression mode. All of those offer that. So basically, stimulation mode will go very quickly to stimulate milk. Expression will draw your milk out in what you might stay in for the rest of your pump session. Some people don't. So just a couple extra tidbits about each pump. The Motif Duo does have a light up LCD screen right there. It also has a timer. Like I said, it does have multiple functions. It has a memory setting. It has different modes for frequencies. So it does have a bit to offer there. And then with the Freestyle Flex, it is a smart pump. It's also all touch screen. So that's what it looks like. and then you just control it this way. So it does have a light up screen too. Don't judge it on that. It was not attached to anything. It just has an open port, so don't judge the noise off of that. And then the very last one, the Ameda Mya, it also does have a light up screen as well, the different noise levels for you, but they all have light up LCD screens with timers. And the Freestyle Flex, like I said, is a smart pump, so it can be linked up to their Medela app, and it's not going to track your milk for you. You do have to manually input that, but you are able to, you know, track pump sessions plus a lot of extra stuff. So there is that. So on to my verdict. It comes down to two of them that is very hard to decide between, and I basically settled with the Motif Duo being the best choice out of all of them when I really gave it some thought. The reason being is that it is very similar to the Ameda Mya with a lot of different points, whether it's the price, the charge that it holds, the fact that it's obviously, you know, all of these pumps are rechargeable, so you've got that going. But the fact that this does offer different frequencies, there's a couple different modes, it also has a memory feature, like that in itself is going to allow it to appeal to a wider range of moms, and that's the reason why I would recommend it the most. Now, that's not to say that I don't recommend the Ameda Mya. I loved using this. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. I think it's a great pump. So if you're looking at this one, I 100% recommend it. I had a great time with it. It just doesn't offer quite as much. So for that reason, that's why I lean a bit more towards the Motif. Now, as far as myself personally, I use these interchangeably. Sometimes I'm using the Ameda Mya a lot. Sometimes I'm using this one a lot. It really just depends when I need a travel pump. I really like both of them. Appreciate the pumps that do the extra frequencies. My body responds better to a higher frequency, so it's very much appreciated. You don't see it on a lot of pumps, so I really like the fact that the Motif Duo has that. Still think the Ameda Mya is a great pump, and I had no problems emptying or pumping at all with it. It was very comfortable. It did have a high enough frequency for me. You just can't change it on there, so the frequency is what you get with it. However, on the Motif, you can customize it a bit. Okay, so with the Flex, I like this pump. I don't really have any big issues with the pump itself. I don't like the lifespans. I never have on the Medela pumps. You know, some great points have been brought to me and I completely understand, but no matter what is said about the lifespans, they are still there. They are still their recommended usage. And to me, I feel like they definitely for the price could be doing more in that area. So I don't love that. And on the off chance that someone's pump at 40 minutes a day at a year quits, I would hate for that person to have invested their money with that kind of pump when they could have gone with something that maybe would have lasted a little bit longer. So I don't know whether it's face value or if it's deeper or whatever the case is with the lifespans. I'm just not a fan of them. Doesn't instill confidence. I think that they could be doing better with that. Even disregarding that, the parts on this thing are horrendous. I do not like the connectors. They gush milk so badly. I tip it over even for a second and I'm losing ounces immediately. So for that reason, I don't really trust to reach for this as a travel pump. Most of the time I am pumping in the car when I need a travel pump. If I'm going to somebody else's house, I'll just bring my usual pump. I'm fine finding a wall outlet. But if I'm in the car, or even if I was traveling somewhere and, you know, I wanted to bring one of these portable ones, I would not reach for this because the parts are just too risky and I definitely don't want to spill in my car. I don't want to spill while I'm out and have to clean that up, lose ounces, obviously lose milk that I could have fed my daughter. Like, it would just be a disaster. So I don't use this as a travel pump. I still use it from time to time at home, but as far as like the whole portable aspect, it's nice to have one around my house that can go anywhere and I don't have to have it plugged in, but $325 worth? I don't know. I don't know that I love this that much to pay that much money for it. I would definitely recommend to spend your money elsewhere in either of these two pumps. Like I said, I have reviews on them to really get into the nitty-gritty about each of them, but I have thoroughly enjoyed them, especially for the cost and the experience, length of time I've used them, everything else, and their parts do not cost me my own milk. So, you know, I like the Freestyle. It feels good. You know, it had no trouble emptying me. I don't love it as a portable pump. I feel bad saying it, I think, because a lot of people just really like Medela. They do make really beautiful pumps, in my opinion. They have no trouble with the design aspect. I just wish that, you know, things like the parts, the lifespan, that those were given a little bit more consideration. I will take a, you know, plain Jane little white little cube of a breast pump that doesn't have parts that leak, that can go years and years, and I don't have to worry about some noted lifespan, something that has a bunch of different frequencies. I don't care what color it is. I don't care what shape it is. I want it to work. I want it to be functional. I want it to be efficient and trustworthy. I'm not interested in design over functionality. That's just me. So for that reason, with this comparison, I would say the winner to me is the Motif Duo. However, the Ameda Mya is a very, very close second. Definitely still recommend this pump. And, you know, if you love being in the Medela family, if you've had good experiences, if you are okay with maybe hacking it and getting different parts, I have no problem recommending the Medela too, if you have the budget for it. But yeah, I think that finishes up this comparison. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.